No back-to-back wins in the Premier League this season. Speaking of back-to-back 3-0 losses to Bournemouth at Old Trafford in consecutive years. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. These are 5 things we have learned in Manchester United's 3-0 defeat at home to Bournemouth. Number 1, defensive horrors continue. That is 14 goals that we've conceded in the last 6 games. And we are conceding the same type of goals. We're conceding set pieces. We had a free kick in there. It's a little bingo card that you can play when you play Man United. You know you're going to get one. You know you're going to get all of them. You get a full house every time. That's the thing with Man United and bingo. You're going to get a set piece goal. You're going to get an individual error. We're going to lose the ball in our defensive third quite a lot. And the amount of goals that we conceded reflects how poor we've been defensively. We give players gifts. Every day is Christmas if you play Manchester United. Never mind this festive period, because we give teams gifts, plenty of gifts. And are some of these players good enough to play for Manchester United? Well, clearly not. I mean, we missed Dillit. Dillit was still ill, didn't make the squad. So we had a back 3 of Maguire, Mazri, right centre-back, and Martinez, left centre-back. Now, Martinez actually didn't have a bad game compared with his previous game against Spurs. But in totality, we have defenders that will make at least one mistake every game. We will concede a goal through a defensive error every single game, and we're set up for failure given that. Number 2, Rashford is done. This was the closest he got to the pitch, taking a picture with the fan here before making his way to the stands to watch the game. Many people will think, well, yeah, we know Rashford's done. We knew that 2 weeks ago or whatever when he got dropped for the City game. Not quite 2 weeks, but and I wasn't really fully on board with Rashford being done at that point. Okay, you get dropped from a Manchester derby, yeah, so what? You've just got to come back and prove yourself. And then there was the interview, and it was like, okay, he might be done. And understandably, after doing an interview like that, he didn't make the next squad for the Spurs game, the Carabao Cup. But to not make the squad for a 3rd time on the trot when you are rested, when this manager does rotate players, yeah, that's it. That is donezo. I don't know if he's going to get a single minute before he gets sold, probably in January. It is sad, but also I think there are ways in which you can respond to getting dropped from the squad for a Manchester derby and having an interview, calling in ill on Monday, the day following that, and then doing an interview the next day on a Tuesday saying that you want to leave the club isn't the way of doing that. So yeah, Rashford, it's unfortunate. Obviously, came through the academy, lots of great memories, but Rashford is done. Number 3, we cannot finish our dinner. So here are the stats you can see. What got Ten Hag sacked was that we couldn't finish. You know, there was games in which we deserved to win that we didn't. And Ten Hag coached 3, 4, 5-0 wins sometimes. That was the last game that he had, West Ham, I think it was. Against West Ham, we should have won by a 3 or 4 goal margin. And I even didn't want him to get sacked after that game, right? Just because of how clear it wasn't his fault. Like, he coached a He coached a win. The players just couldn't. He can't get on the pitch and finish the chances. He coaches to getting those positions in good scoring positions. Right. He coached that. We did that. We couldn't finish. And so we've been better. It might be down to luck. It might be down to the players not feeling as much pressure. The pressure after the manager's sacked, there's a better feeling around the club, and the pressure is almost lifted from these players. That's why they're converting more chances. But now, yesterday, it seems to have gone back to us not being able to finish. You can see 2.26 expected goals. There was 4 big chances, 23 goal attempts, 7 on target, and 0 goals. Didn't really get that close either. Kepa made a few decent stops. I think Højlund's one was probably the best save. But one-on-one, Garnacho, you just have to be finishing. You're one-on-one, and I think he could have dribbled that further. He's almost outside the box when he takes the shot. He's got a player sort of on him, but I think I'd back Garnacho to at least keep the same pace so that the defender doesn't get in front of him. But yeah, it's awful. And no manager, doesn't matter who you bring in, if you don't finish, if you can't convert your chances, the best thing you can do for a manager coming in for a team is to put players in the positions to score goals. You can't score the goals for them. So any manager is doomed if we don't up our conversion rate. I don't want to see 2.26 XG and us having no goals again. Number 4, Mazraoui is human. Manchester United is a virus. It is a virus. Players come in. They're not ill. They're not ill with the Manchester virus when they come in. Mazraoui comes in, plays exceptionally well. He's been our most consistent performer, maybe apart from Ahmad this season. Certainly in the defence, he's been the best player. He's been our best signing by far. We've become over-reliant on him, putting in 8 or 9 out of 10 performances. And the last 2 games, I would say, I don't think he was great against Spurs, but certainly this game, not good at all. Going in for a challenge that he had no right to win. And you know what Mazraoui you associate with him, his highly intelligent, always makes the right decision. This clearly was not the right decision. He had no right to win that ball. Was probably like a 10-20% chance of winning it. And yeah, chops him, goes down, clear pen. And that's at 1-0. And the game is sort of in the balance. I think United's response to going 1-0 down was actually decent. But after that, it's sort of almost kills the game, really. So Mazraoui is human, I put, because he's been so good since then. So I'm not going to criticise him too much because you should be able to have an off game and the rest of the team carry you through. We don't have that. We've only had 2 players that have been consistently performing week in, week out, and that's Ahmad and Mazraoui. And both of them didn't have a great game against Bournemouth. But again, like I say, the team cannot carry them through. We're over-dependent, over-reliant on both of those players. And finally, number 5, we are desperate for January. We need a left wing back. Malacia got pulled off at half time. I'm done with that experiment. I come from a science background. If you get a negative result, right, and everything was all sort of controlled for, you move on. You don't persist with, oh, maybe it will turn positive. I'm going to keep doing it. And, maybe it will turn positive. Because what happens if you do the same experiment 3 times, yeah, and you get a negative result 3 times, on the 4th or 5th or 6th or 7th time you're doing it, you might get a positive result, and you're like, oh, it does work. It does work, actually. Yeah, that's called a false positive. If you repeat something so many times, you will get a positive eventually. That's through probability. But it's called a false positive because there's an error in the result. Something happened which is giving you a false positive result, and that is the same with Malacia. Okay, he is not good enough. He wasn't good enough before the injury. Time is a great healer, isn't it? Because there's a lot of United fans that Malacia came back and we were like, oh yeah, he's actually, we're glad he's back. He's brilliant. Just overrating Malacia. Malacia is not good enough. We are desperate for a left wing back in January. If you keep playing him, he might have a game in which he is okay to decent. Doesn't mean that we should keep playing him, because most of the time he's not good, and he got pulled off at half time. Can we please stop playing him now? I understand Amarin's coming in, giving everyone a chance. Yeah, we've had that. We've had the experiment. We've seen him. He's not good enough. That is the priority area in the summer. It's summer. Well, in the summer, yeah, it will be in the summer as well. But in January, that is the priority, to get a left wing back. And does it have to be? Is it going to be Alphonso Davies? No. But we need somebody at least that can play that position coming on loan, because we've saw with Luke Shaw, there's no point in even. I don't know why I mentioned him. He's not a Manchester United player. He just doesn't play for Manchester United. Doesn't play. Malacia, nowhere near good enough, and he's our only left-sided. Well, he's the only natural. He's not even naturally a wing back, is he? He's a full back. So we need a left wing back. Garnacho obviously can't play that. Delo not a natural left wing back. Not great going forward on the right. So even worse on the at left wing back. We need a natural wing back in Jan, even if it's a loan. If we sell Marcus Rashford, we can use the funds to buy a left wing back. That is a priority area. And honestly, if that's all we get in January, I sort of expect it. I don't expect us to spend big in January, given the club's finances. But we need a left wing back. I can't stress that enough. But yeah, that is it. That is 5 things we've learnt. Looking forward to the Boxing Day match, sort of. Obviously, Wolves are going to have have had a new manager bounce, but hopefully we need 3 points. Hopefully we can have a late Christmas gift. And do enjoy your Christmas. I appreciate you for watching. Do like and subscribe. We've just ticked over 3K before Christmas. So thank you all if you are watching that are a new member of the channel. Appreciate you. But do like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you after Christmas. Actually, no, I'm going to drop a video straight after this today. But after that, I'll see you after Christmas. Have a good one. Ciao.